Hi, boys and girls. Ranger Jim saying welcome to Nature Time. We're glad you can join us today. We're in Gatlinburg, Tennessee at a place called Ripley's Aquarium for the Smokies. And what a fun place this is. We've enjoyed it so much here today, seeing so many beautiful and wonderful things. In the background, you will hear some music. This is background music in the aquarium, but we're going to go ahead and just use it for our program. It's playing for us, okay? And we have my friend Katy with us today, and she knows about this creature. Katy, what are these big, beautiful creatures?
These are giant Japanese spider crabs.
Beautiful. Tell us something about them.
Well, they're probably the largest arthropod in the world.
An arthropod. What's an arthropod?
Okay, an arthropod, arthro means jointed, just like your elbow. Yeah, like your muscles there. All right, and pod means appendage or like a foot. Okay, so they have jointed appendages, just like we do.
Ah, that's the long legs. Okay, and what do these creatures eat?
Well, they eat pretty much anything they can find. They like to eat algae. They have specially shaped little claws there on the very ends. It's kind of like a spoon. And they can scrape algae off of the rocks and even pry open things like clams.
Their claws are strong enough to do that, they have.
Oh yes, they're very strong.
And you told me, I believe before, that some of the males we can identify because they have longer legs.
Yes, they do. As the males get older, once they're mature, they actually get very long arms where their pinchers are.
Now, what about the girls? How do we identify the girls?
Well,
She
the
have better
girls-
hair?
Well, they don't have any hair. But what they do have is a very large flap on their abdomen. That's basically their tummy. And they can hold the eggs there.
So then they don't lay their eggs on the floor, they lay
No, they
them
don't.
in a pad, or and then they hold them here. Okay, then when they hatch, what happens to the babies?
The babies go up towards the surface of the water, and you know, after they're hatched, they're up there and they're just floating around, waiting for.
And every man for himself.
Basically, yes.
And there are a lot of different creatures that feed on those.
Yes, a lot of different creatures. So out of thousands of eggs, only a couple will actually hatch, will actually grow.
Would survive to be adults like
Yep.
these. All right. Now, would we find these around a reef, or would we find them in the ocean for? In
They live
Australia,
pretty
you
deep.
say?
They live pretty deep down, about 50 to 300 meters. That's what scientists use as meters, and that's about 150 to 1,000 feet.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's deep.
Okay. Now tell me, is there any special part of the ocean where you would find these? You would find them around vents, perhaps, where you have hot water?
Well, hydrothermal vents, any area where there's actually a lot for them to eat. They
So-
pretty much scavenge around.
They would be around an area where there are many things for them to eat. They would do like that.
Yes.
Okay. Now, these creatures are saltwater, though.
They are
They
saltwater.
are saltwater, and you couldn't keep them in an aquarium or anything like that.
No, you need a lot of special equipment to keep these crabs. Ours are at about 42 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's very cold water.
Very cold water. And what do you feed them here? Just a special diet, or?
We feed them an assortment of different meats, maybe shrimp with the shells actually on. We feed clam. We'll also feed squid and different types of fish.
Wonderful. Isn't that wonderful, boys and girls? We just learn so much when we come and see these creatures, and I want to thank Katy for coming and telling us about them, because I had never seen them before. But we learned that lesson once again. Our Heavenly Father made it, and made it right the first time. So this is Ranger Jim again saying, don't forget to tell Jesus that you love him, because he really does love you.